What's up, family? I'm Juan Castillo, and when I'm on social media, my favorite show to watch is the Don't Shoot the Messenger weekly podcast. Chris G, Professional Sutton, Rucker Report delivers sports the way it's supposed to be, real and authentic. So get ready to be entertained. My boys are ready. I'm ready. Let's go.
Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy, Chris G.
And it's your boy, the Rucker Report, a.k.a. Jerry.
Ready? This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished.
This is Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
X about me.
With Professional Sutton.
You already know.
Chris G.
My homie.
And the Rucker Report.
My family, what up?
They for real.
All straight with no chaser.
Let the games begin.
Let's go. Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
Yes. Y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all know what time it is. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy, Chris G.
And on behalf of the big homie who is not here, we wish him a safe and speedy recovery. The Rucker Report. Cheers. Chris, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Man, look, man, I'm coming down from that UFC fight night, man. I ain't even going front. That's what I'm coming down from. It was a great night of fights last night. Great night, man. Just a great night, man.
So before we get started, we definitely want to thank our sponsors. First of all, we want to thank our main sponsor, the one who, showed us the love, 94.3 WYBC.
The rhythm of the city. And
also we would like to thank our longtime sponsor and Inspire Rentals with, summertime coming up, get those porta potties, have your family safe. And plus, who want to be running in and out? But I will have the information for you. Let me get the information for you so you can know who to call for Inspire Rentals. Let me get it right here. Boom. Here we go. Let me get this.
Boom.
Yeah, I got a lot going on here, but it's all good. I got it. Give MJ a call. Yes, that's 475-221-1598. 475-221-1598. That's Inspire Rentals. Get yourself that clean, by the way, potty. So like Chris said, we got UFC 261 was last night. It had some great fights up there.
Whoa. Hold on. Peep the merch, my man.
Oh, yes.
Peep the merch.
How can I forget
Peep the merch
our
real
newest
quick.
sponsor, Positive Peace. Chris, can you please show your shirt? There we go. The Positive Peace of the line. If you would like yourself and your family to be decked out in that positive
good quality too. Good quality.
That Positive Peace. Check out, hit your boy Professional Sutton up, Marquette Sutton on Facebook. I don't have no page yet for it, but definitely hit us up, man. Hit us up. So last night, Hambone, he said, I finally caught his show early. Yes, Hambone. Yes,
sir.
We are doing it.
We're gonna talk about them Nets. We're gonna talk about them Nets later.
Yes, because in the chat, him and the Knicks fans have been going at it. So that's been a fun thing. So last night, Chris, again, I'm leaving it all up to you. I'm gonna just jump in where I can. Anytime I watch UFC, I'm always watching it like it's the first time because these fights are so dope. Give me your analysis of I have a few fights that I'm gonna talk about, then you can, go ahead and do your thing.
Knock them out.
Was the Weidman and Hall fight?
Weidman, Chris
Weidman.
Weidman.
I'm sorry,
Chris
Weidman.
Hall.
Yes. That was nasty.
That was nasty.
If y'all didn't see, he broke his ankle.
And his foot, femur, fibula, something like that.
That was disgusting. I might put it up on the screen. I don't know, Chris. You think I should put it there?
I mean, with a warning, graphic warning if you're squeamish.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it, but I'm gonna let Chris talk about the fight last night.
I mean, there's really not a lot to talk about in that fight. I mean, it happened within like the first 17 seconds of the first round.
Yes, it was. Disgusting.
So I mean, it was It was quick. It was those things are always unexpected. It's a freak accident. You know, ironically, Chris Weidman, when he fought Anderson Silva, that's how he beat Anderson Silva the second time. Anderson Silva broke his leg in similar fashion.
Okay.
The thing was, and why, you know, Chris Weidman got a little bit of hate last night was because after that happened with Anderson Silva, he was like, yo, we trained for that. And it was like, how do you train for somebody else breaking their leg when they're throwing a kick at you? Like, I mean, you can protect yourself to block the kick, but to have it happen like that, like it's a freak accident. Like those things are spontaneous. You can't train to break somebody's, you know what I mean, leg when he's throwing a kick. So when it happened to him, you know, it was a lot of people on social media just commenting like, that's that karma. I guess Uriah Hall trained for that. Now, Uriah is a class act, man. So Uriah was hurt. He messed up about it. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to see another competitor, you know what I mean, go down like that. So, you know, Uriah was very respectful. He didn't say that he trained for that. So, but, you know, speedy recovery to Chris Weidman. You never want to see an athlete get injured like that. I don't know what the rest of his career is going to fold out to be. He's a little bit older, a little bit longer in the tooth, and he isn't exactly, you know, top contender in the middleweight division. So I don't know what's going to happen with Chris Weidman going forward. But you know, all prayers to him and his family and his team that he bounces back from that injury.
Yeah, I was I'm trying to find a fight, man, but you know, on just like they just exit out of it.
You ain't missing that. It was like I said, it was a really, really short.
Yes, it was.
You know, I'm trying to think if Uriah even landed a shot. Like it happened so quick.
It looked like he kicked him, and then
Chris kicked him. Chris kicked him, broke his leg. Didn't know that he broke his leg. Tried to step back on his leg, and then he collapsed. You know, because you know it happens so quick. You got adrenaline rushing and everything. You don't feel it instantly like that. You know what I mean? And you know, so he didn't feel it until a couple seconds later. But like I said again, man, you know, hopefully you know, he bounces back and you know, he's back fighting, you know, within a year or so. Hopefully.
Let me see if I can pull it up. So I have you know, give the commentary on this, man. And you know,
I mean, it ain't much. He throws
really
like I said, he throws a kick and
real discretion is
the
oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Yes, that was tough. That was tough to watch. That was really tough to watch, man. It caught me off guard, man.
You know, those I hope and pray it's not a compound fracture. But you know, man, those injuries are tough, man. It's just nasty.
Yes.
Just nasty. So, you know, you pray for the best with him.
Okay, Chris Hambone said the clip is on Bleacher Report. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I pulled it up. The next fight, now you know I'm gonna butcher her name. I'm not even gonna say it. Valentina. Okay, Chris stepped out on us. You know, Chris over here doing daddy duty.
I'm back. Valentina Shevchenko.
Yes.
Shevchenko.
Yes.
Shevchenko.
That fight, man. That wow.
First of all, just call her by her name in the ring, the Bullet.
The Bullet.
And Valentina, man, one of my favorite fighters, male or female, doesn't matter. Okay. Valentina, it ain't even much to talk about this fight because she is so dominant in the 125 division. You know, they thought that that this would be a tougher opponent for her, but she just let it be known. You know, she top two, not number two. And Valentina is on a different level. And I've had this argument. I don't even want to say argument. I had this discussion with a few people. It's really Valentina and Amanda. You know what I mean? Like until they fight each other again, they fought each other a long time ago, close fight. Then they fought each other, I believe it was 2017 or 2018. A split decision that went to Amanda. That a lot of people felt that Valentina won, and a lot of people felt like Amanda won. It was a really close fight. It could have went either way. it went to Amanda. But what I tell people all the time is, you got to remember, Valentina not a real 135er. So when she was fighting all of those girls and dominating them at 135, that wasn't even her real weight division. Her real weight division is 125, but it wasn't no 125 weight division yet in the UFC. So she had to fight people that was bigger than her, stronger than her, and she was still waxing them. You know what I mean? So, you know, Valentina, man, there ain't no holes in her game, yo. There ain't no holes in her game.
The way just the way she just, you know, took to her and just was like, yo, listen, I'm gonna show you what I can do. Yeah. I'm gonna show you what I can do. You know, everyone, you know, thought that I couldn't, you know, wrestle, or, you know, I didn't have no takedown. I'm gonna show you something. But watching it, Chris, just the cerebral way of her doing it, it was like, I'm toying with you.
Well, I think it was everybody said, like, Andrade had a chance with Valentina if it could be on the ground. And she was like, oh, she can have a chance with me if it's on the ground. I'll put her on the ground. Yep. The most I ever put anybody on the ground, and only in 2 rounds. Mind you, her career, the most takedowns she had in a fight was 6. She had 7 in 2 rounds with her. You know what I mean? So Valentina just kind of showed her dominance, put her in a crucifix.
Yes. It was over after that.
But it was just all throughout the fight, though. Even before it got to that point, you just see how much stronger, how much bigger, how much more complete of a fighter Valentina is. Like, Valentina, man, she is. And listen, man, it's really all just working up to, when is Amanda and Valentina going to fight each other? Because that's all there is.
When is it going to happen, Chris? When
I don't know, man. It's hard to do. It's hard to do a trilogy when Amanda got 2 victories over her. Whether they be controversial or not, she already got 2 victories over her. So I do think a third fight is going to happen, because it's just, they're both so dominant, and there's nobody in 125 that can see Valentina. And at 135, there's nobody that could really see Amanda. At 145, she's basically made that division non-existent. So, like, you know what I mean? Mind you, that was the division they created for Chris Cyborg. Friend of the show, by the way. I always want to point that out. Chris Cyborg, friend of the show.
Yes, definitely is. She definitely shows us love, man. Definitely shows us love, man.
But they created that division for Chris because Ronda was running. Ronda ain't want to fight Chris. And they wanted Chris in the UFC. So, they made this division for her. And Chris was wiping out everybody. Had a close fight. I don't want to say close fight. She was wiping out everybody in the division. The only fight that wasn't a straight blowout that was actually competitive is when she went against Holly Holm. And then she went against Amanda. We all saw what happened. And then from there, Amanda systematically wiped out every other contender there could be at 145.
Well, I just wanted to give you two things. I know that Amanda Nunes, she got like an action figure or something?
Amanda Nunes?
Yeah, I know that. I was watching something, man. Now they got the UFC action figure, which is pretty dope. Cool. And also, your girl Ronda Rousey is expecting a child. So
yeah, she's like 4 months pregnant, I think. So congratulations to her, man. Her and her husband, I believe, Matt Brown, UFC former UFC fighter. He fought him so long. Yeah, man. Like I know that's what she took time off from wrestling, because she wanted to have a baby. Because I think her husband, Matt Brown, he has like 2 or 3 kids of his own. They all live together, and she wanted one that was from her. So congratulations to her, man. Like it's no hate on that, man.
That's probably
family, special thing.
That's probably the most positive thing I've heard you say about her in forever.
Well, listen, man. The only negative thing that I ever had to say about Ronda was in the ring stuff, and the whole like. She could beat other professional men, and they're just like, come on. But you see how, you know what though? I got to give her credit. She took some bullets so that now Amanda, who is now regarded as the greatest woman fighter, they don't bring her up about fighting men.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So she kind of had to take that. You know, she was such a superstar. They started, you know, doing all these things that she didn't necessarily ask for, and started putting that on Ronda.
Right.
And that didn't bode well. And now they don't do it with Amanda. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think that's you know, Amanda owes her a little bit of gratitude for that at least.
Yeah, definitely. The next fight is your girl.
My girl.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. Chris told me about her some years ago, and I was like, let me see who Chris talking about. And I watched her, and I say, man. Now again, I know people always talk about the comparison about women can fight men, but I'm gonna say, man, she's just so tough, man. She is just so tough. Chris, what do you got to say about your girl, man? Last night, that kick,
jumping up and down in the house when Thug Rose landed. I am a Thug Rose fan. Okay, absolutely my favorite fighter. Absolutely my favorite fighter, men or women. She's my number one. Love Thug Rose. The way she fights, yo, is just it's beautiful. It's smooth. It's so smooth. So, you know, look, this was a difficult fight because Zhang Wei Li, she's no joke.
No,
you know,
she's
she
not.
was the current champion. She was on a 21 fight win streak. And yo, she's a bulldog, man. She's a bulldog. She competed against Joanna. I think that was about this time last year. It was one of the last fights before the pandemic shut stuff down. It was one of the greatest. People were saying it was the greatest women's fight ever. And I'm going, yo, that might be one of the greatest UFC fights I've ever seen. Period.
Yeah.
That's how good it was. And, you know, listen, man, she'll be back. She'll bounce back. She's a great fighter. You know, she just got caught. But Thug Rose, man, I was telling everybody, I said, look, man, if Thug Rose can keep this standing and not become a war, where she could just 1-2 move around, I was like, Rose will pick her apart. And I mean,
and
look, man,
how about the reactions? You know, the announcers, man, Joe Rogan, man.
Joe Rogan had me in tears last night.
Crying.
Tears, he had me in tears last night. Oh my goodness, yo! Listen, their UFC analysis team and color commentary team, they are the best in the business, yo.
Listen,
they're so connected to what's going on. Like,
it hasn't been. I haven't heard a better color commentator and ring announcers. Two of the best, man, was Vince McMahon and Gorilla Monsoon back in the day, man.
Back in the day, yeah, man. Back in the day, Vincent and Gorilla.
Wow.
But I'm sorry, they don't got nothing on Bruce Buffer.
Yes.
Daniel Cormier.
Yes.
I think John Anik and Joe Rogan, man. It's just the energy that they bring, and it's because when they watch it, they're watching it and they're giving you the commentary like they're supposed to, but they also are talking like fans.
Yeah,
because they are true fans of what's going on in there. So
yes, they are.
Oh my goodness, Joe Rogan had me in tears last night.
I gotta get their reaction, man, because just the way they look. I mean, like, how can you? Hold on, let me put this up, man. Just look at this, man. This should be everybody's screensaver. Like
yo, it lets you know. And it makes me think about the first time when Thug Rose won the championship when she beat Joanna. And Daniel Cormier was you could just hear him just saying, Thug Rose, Thug Rose, Thug Rose. Like, it was so good, man. It was so good.
I mean, like I said, it's just a beautiful thing. I'm gonna, because I'm gonna, let me see here. Let me go back to, I just want to show the fight again. But yes, Chris, like I said,
you know what's smooth about that move?
What's up?
Because she came in with an inside kick, right? So with the leg that she was, her front leg, and what Wei Li thought, as you see her kind of scoot back, she thought it was going to be a leg kick.
Yeah.
So she had been baiting her. She thought it was going to be a leg kick. That's why she scooted back. But since she scooted back, she was off balance, and she didn't kick her in the leg. She kicked her in the face, and it just threw her all off, yo. So that's like Rose is so smooth, man. She's so smooth, and that's why I'm a fan of her, man. Her trainer, Trevor Whitman, is one of the best hand guys in UFC. We're getting people hand skills right, and he's even said that Rose has mastered his system the best out of anybody. I want to remind you, Kamaru Usman is in his stable. That's one of his fighters, and he says Thug Rose got his system down the best because she just like Thug Rose could be a boxer, like a legitimate boxer.
Hambone said that. Hambone said that fight was ended too early. I mean, Hambone.
No, here's the thing, right? You want to give the champ a second, but when he ended it, when she got up, she couldn't stand up. She was wobbling around. It wasn't gonna get. See, I'm with you, right? Because fights sometimes get called early, but you got to ask yourself sometimes, where was it gonna get any better for Weili? Because if you go back to the fight when she's finishing it, when she's hammer fisting her, yo, Weili arms is trapped and she's just taking the punches. So like, what's she gonna do? You're about to see it right now. So when they do a reverse angle and you can see it better, like what was she gonna do? Just stay there and get hit some more until she was actually unconscious? Like it was over. And it's tough. You never wanna, you always want to give the champ, extra chances to defend. You don't want to call it early. But right here, what is she like? You know what I mean? Like it was just gonna keep. She was just gonna keep getting hit like that. You know what I mean? So it was like, did he stop it a little early? Yeah, you can make that argument for sure. But it's the same thing like when Conor fought Floyd Mayweather, and it was an early stoppage. But it was like, dude, he was already just taking it to. It wasn't gonna get any better. So you don't want them to not be able to come back and fight again. Right. Like, for instance, you know what fight went a little too long? The fight we're about to talk about next. The Masvidal Usman fight. Like, he took a hard shot and it should have been called right there. But Herb gave him a chance. And around the third or fourth hammer fist, that motherfucker was snoring. I mean, listen, he bounced back because Jorge's a tough dude. But was it worth it? Was it worth it to get snoring just so it could be like, well, we made sure he was out cold now. Like,
yeah. Now you're right.
That one punch was enough. It was it.
Let me see. Before we get to that fight, let me get my tabs together. Let me get my life together here. But before we get to that fight, Chris, I just want to say, man, just to have more fans.
It was electric. It was electric.
Man, it was nice. It was.
Oh my goodness, so watching it was like, you forget sometimes, like, it's gonna be something, and I don't know when they're gonna have it. But when basketball can have a full crowd in there, and they're going at each other, and them great moments, and there's been a lot of great moments in basketball this year when there can be fans in there to experience it. Yeah, you just feel it, man. You just feel it. Now, listen, as a consumer, I can watch either way, but there is a different level when there's fans in the building, man. When there's fans in the building, you feel hype. You know what I mean? So, can't wait to see it.
And it was like I said, I
Where'd you go? All right, well, since you're somewhere off in the ether, it was a great fight between Kamara and Masvidal. I gotta say, I've always thought that Masvidal was a really good fighter. Always thought he was a really good fighter. Tough as nails. He come from that Kimbo Slice era of, fighting in backyards, showing how tough he is. I know he's a tough dude. But what I always told people when it came to Masvidal is he's a really, really good fighter. I don't think he's an elite fighter, though. See, there's levels. Yeah. We talk about this all the time. There's levels in this. Kamaru Usman. See, when Kamaru was coming up, when nobody really knew who he was, except for, fight fans, UFC fight fans, Nobody wanted to fight Kamaru. Nobody wanted to fight him. They were like, man, I don't need that kind of stress in my life. You know what I mean? And now that he has become champ, you know, you can see him elevating his game every fight.
Mm-hmm.
And he just puts himself in a tier that is good as Masvidal is. And he is good. He is really good. One of my favorite fighters.
I like him too. You know,
I'm a fan. I love his swag. He got so many ill ass nicknames. Game Bread, Street Jesus. You know what I mean? Like he walk around in Tony Montana suit. Shout out to Dan Le Batard too, that was working his corner in the fight. I don't know if you've seen that.
Nice.
But Dan Le Batard, you know, Jorge Masvidal is a friend. Yeah, he's in Miami and he's on the Dan Le Batard show a lot.
Okay.
So they're pretty tight. And he was actually working his corner for the fights. And I saw it. I was looking. I was like, is that Dan Le Batard? I said, hell yeah, that's Dan Le Batard. Shout out to Dan.
Yeah, yo. The MIA.
That MIA. But again, fan of him. But I always thought that next tier, he wasn't on it. He wasn't on it. And it's a lot of great fighters that Nick and Nate Diaz, great fighters. Great. But they not on that next tier, man. That tier that separates the top 5, top 10 in the champs.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gap, man. It's a gap. It's a big gap, honestly.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And Kamaru is just opening that gap. Now, his potential next fight is, I think, the closest person in the division. And I know people hate him. I don't like him either. But I don't disrespect his fighting skills. Colby Covington is the next guy. He's the one that he's on that talent level. But I gotta say, from the recent fights that I've seen with Usman, he's made a jump. Colby, I don't know if Colby caught up. You know what I'm saying? They were close in the first fight that they had, that Usman won. It was close. So I know the talent gap wasn't that far. But I've seen Usman elevate his game. Has Colby? We gonna find out.
You know,
one
thing that Masvidal, you know, that I seen yesterday, he kept dropping his hands, man.
He was confident.
Yeah,
he said in the first fight that he didn't feel like he had any power. He didn't respect Kamaru Usman's power at all. He said, you know, from the first fight. So you know,
well, I'm sure he respected it last night. You know, because you know that. I mean, I kept saying, watching the fight, I'm like, he is going to potentially get knocked out. You know, when you're watching it and he's dropping those hands, I'm like, man, pick those.
Yo,
hands.
that's how he fights, though. That's how he fights.
No,
and
it is.
Also,
it is.
You gotta remember, Masvidal never been knocked out. He never been stung. We never seen him hurt in the ring. True. I think he got submitted. You know, he's lost fights, but like he doesn't get hurt.
Nah. He don't get hurt, but I think last night is what he needed, and I think with him, you're going to see him become a little better. I think he's going to pick those hands up, and you know,
he's not going to pick his hands up.
You don't think so?
Listen, he'll pick them up when he needs to in spots, but he don't respect people power. And listen, he's made a career. He never had to.
True.
And I got to, you know, just to remind people, they fought once before. Okay. And he got hit by Usman and laughed the whole fight. You see what I'm saying? So he got faith in his chin. He's but with everybody's chin got an expiration date in the fight game.
That's true.
Okay,
that's true.
Okay,
and so
maybe his was yesterday, but you know what I mean. Like he said, you know, in the first fight, he was like, "Yo," he said, "If I'm not mistaken, don't hold me to this. I think he said." Usman was the weakest puncher he had ever fought. So you know he ain't had no respect for the hands.
Yeah. And I mean, and I know he had to sell some of that too, but
listen, I take Jorge for at his word when he talks about people's power. Because you know, even if you like listen to the interview after defeat, he keep it a buck.
Yeah, he do.
Jorge keep it a buck. You know what I mean? So, you know, he said, like, listen, man, I didn't respect his punching power. He was like, I didn't feel it in the first fight. Felt it tonight.
Yeah, I'm about to say he sure felt it.
He said, "Yo, I felt it tonight." He was like, "You got me." He's like, "Ain't nothing I can say." Hats off to him.
You know, when I tell people, I just want to be a little, not PC, but I want to talk about the other side of the game, entertainment, man.
Go ahead.
People like Mazel Dog, like you need people like that. Floyd Mayweather, people who talk junk because they keep it interesting. Like I was on a post, of course, it was about Floyd Mayweather, and this dude, he gets up there, he's a piece of work, and he goes on and on, whatever. So I said, but you gotta understand, it's entertainment, man. If Floyd Mayweather was just some old, hey, how you doing? I'm a good guy. Hey, I respect it. Will you watch if you're an avid boxer, a boxing fan? Of course. But to the naked eye, to the person who's not a boxing fan, they don't want to hear that. They want the trash talk because they want to see him get his head knocked off. And that's what it's about. Trash talking is as normal in competitive sports as anything. And
I think you're selling it short when you say normal. It's necessary.
Oh yeah, very.
You gotta sell the fight. It's one of the reasons why. It's one of the reasons why Jake Paul is one of the biggest boxers in boxing right now. It's because he's tapped into something that Floyd used to do from a marketing standpoint. Make him hate you.
Yeah.
See, because people will tune in to watch you lose. They won't necessarily tune in to watch you win.
Nah.
They will tune. I mean, you think about the Floyd fights. Most of the Floyd fights was people buying them because they wanted to see Floyd if lose. This guy was going to be the guy to shut that guy up.
Yeah. But then, but then people are so finicky because say like if Floyd would have lost, that person that beat Floyd, they wouldn't have been on his back. They would have been like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, we need somebody else. Like, yeah, you did us justice, but nah, we're good. Now we need Floyd, and like I said, I think of that Scarface line. You need people like me to point.
Look at boxing now. The reason why you need Floyd. Without Floyd, you got people like Jake Paul running back. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. Canelo is the number one guy,
right?
But Canelo can't do no 1.5 million buys fighting bums. I mean, listen, I've been asking. Ben Askren is a bum when you bring it talking about boxing. He's a bum. And that's what Jake Paul drew. 1.5 mil. Canelo ain't doing that. That's the stuff that Floyd used to do. Floyd used to fight people you ain't really even never heard of. Get 1.7, 1.6 million pay-per-view buys.
Yo, but like Hambone said Dana White needs to take over boxing. But
no. Listen, Dana White has his own problems as well. Okay.
Right.
So boxing, there needs to be a healthy mix of what goes on from matchmaking with UFC, but also some UFC fighters need to be making the money that boxers make, and they do not. Conor is an outlier, a very, very big outlier.
A huge outlier.
So I be telling people that because one of the reasons why they can't make the John Jones Francis fight is because John Jones wants $30 million. They don't pay people $30 million in the UFC. But John Jones' argument is, when Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fought each other, they made $30-something million. Arguably, and this is the arguable point, he's bigger than both of those guys as far as name recognition, how many pay-per-view sales he's had in his career, him being one of the number one guys in the sport. But but you know what Dana White said? No, thank you. I can find somebody else. He's like, we can put Derek Lewis in that spot. I'm not paying you $30 million.
But you need that banter. Real quick, I just want to shout out one of my dudes, man. He like a son to me, man. He said he got a second job to do 19, man. Anytime I see doing this thing, shout out to my boy D, man. Keep on doing your thing. And he always been a supporter, always showed his love. So shout out to him. Hambone said, no, we get all that, but Dana White gives us the fight we want.
Well, no, that's why I said from a matchmaking standpoint, Dana gives you the fights that you want.
Right.
The thing, though, in boxing, where Dana White wouldn't excel. See, Dana White has control of certain things he shouldn't have control over. There's this thing called like the Ali Act in boxing that like the promoters can't also control where the belt goes. You know what I mean? Or who has the belt. Dana White has all that power and authority in UFC. Not only is he basically the only sanctioning body for the UFC titles, he's also everybody's promoter. So, it's a catch-22. And like I said, as a promoter, he'd be one of those dudes that don't want to pay nobody. I tell you that right now. He'd be one of them promoters that'll have a star out there talking about, man, this is the price. Yeah. And, listen, don't get me wrong. Boxing has big problems. Dana ain't the solution. There's some solutions that could be made. Dana ain't it.
Yeah, agreed. Now I do want to ask you, Chris. When we're talking about UFC, and again, this is just talking from a standpoint of someone who likes UFC, but is not as well traversed as you are. What would a dream UFC fight card be for you? Like, give me like 3 fights, or let's just say 5 that you would love to see. That would just make it. It would just be sweet for you.
Dream UFC cards?
Yes.
Okay. Main event. John Jones versus Israel Adesanya.
Okay.
Co-main event. Amanda Nunes versus Valentina Shevchenko.
Okay.
Third fight. It's tough. I got a lot to pull from here. But I want the best of the best. Oof. I need a little bit more time. For the third fight.
Yeah.
Well, it's out of a few people, right? So it's a lot of people that I would want to match, but they either just retired or you know what I mean. They haven't fought in a while. Like I would want to say Kamaru Usman versus George St. Pierre because he's technically still a fighter, but he kind of does what he wants. But he is a little older, a little bit longer in the tooth. But I would love to see it.
Okay. All right. I think that's pretty okay.
Then I would say, who else?
Hambone, chime in too. Who
That's tough. I would need some more time to like think about that and come up with what I think would be best.
Okay.
He said Max Holloway. He said Cole versus Max. Cole. Why am I flaking on Cole? Cole who? I'm assuming Max is Max Holloway. I would like Max Holloway against anybody.
Okay.
I love Max Holloway. You know who had a really good fight, but Max had to go up and wait to fight him. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier.
Okay.
That was a really good fight.
Hambone said, I'm not truly into UFC, but you want Dana White to promote boxing? Come on. Oh man. He said Ben something. He says hard to spell. So
only Ben is Ben Henderson, but you can't be talking about Ben Henderson.
Now how about now let's talk about some old fighters, it can be present, before whatever. What was some dream fights? What's a dream card for you? If you include people from the past now, let's
like fights that we never got that should have happened.
Whatever.
Yeah, I would probably say
like.
I'll say the number one fight that we should have got that never happened is Anderson Silva versus George St. Pierre when they were both in their prime. That okay. I would now obviously Anderson was a middleweight and St. Pierre was a welterweight, so somebody would have had to go up or come down or whatever the case may be. But it was a doable fight. You know, St. Pierre fought at middleweight before, so you know, it definitely was a doable fight. You know, trying to think of other fights that didn't happen. I mean, I'm now thinking more and more that John Jones versus Francis ain't gonna happen. We can put that on that card.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of hard to match. Kind of fought everybody. You know what I mean? Like, there's really nobody. I mean, I'm trying to. There's like a couple people he didn't fight, like, you know, Tony Ferguson, something like. But he kind of fought. He fought Max Holloway, fought Dustin a few times, fought Khabib. I wouldn't mind seeing Khabib versus George St. Pierre either. That wouldn't be.
Ooh.
That'd be a good one too.
Okay.
That'd be a good one too. It's a few.
Okay. All right. Now, the part that Hambone been waiting for. NBA.
Give me a second.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do your daddy duty. You can see Chris is a father, so you gotta you know, do what he gotta do with the kids, and you know, that's what it is. That's what it is. So, you know, we just reviewed the UFC fights that happened last night, and Chris gave us his dream UFC fights that he would love to have seen fight or would love to see in the future. So we are moving into the NBA portion of the show. Let me see here. Now, let me see. Let's get to these comments. He said, "Oh my God, mad stuff going on in NBA." Yeah, listen. So as you guys know, LeBron, my godson, as you can see, I got the cereal in the back. You see, he's expected to make a return next week. That's what they're saying, that LeBron might be coming back next week. Chris,
I heard about that. Listen, it's muchly needed, especially for the Lakers. They just looked with AD just coming back, trying to work back into it. You know, LeBron is much needed right now for the Lakers. I mean, I think they're all right. Well, they could be the 5, they could be the 6 seed. It don't matter. They gotta play tough teams in the West regardless. Right. So it really doesn't matter what they are. You were gonna have to play a combination of Clippers, Pistons, Utah, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. Yo, fam, did you just get that notification?
What notification? What?
Said a UFC blocked your video because it may contain some stuff.
No, I didn't see it, but probably did. That's why whenever I use the videos, like I'll use it for like 15 seconds and I take it off. Be like real strict on that. They be real strict on that.
Yeah, it says the video had used 1 minute and 2 seconds of video owned by the UFC.
Yeah, yep. Damn Dana White. You know, but that's how
Hambone won't fuck with him though.
Oh man, that's funny. Listen, this Hambone's guys, man. You know, this is all Hambone fault, man. You know what I mean? This is all Hambone fault. But you know how it is, you know, with YouTube, and you know, that's why, like, when I show it real quick, you know, and then I just, you know, get up out of there because I don't want no problems with YouTube. I don't want them shut down our videos, because if you show that stuff too much, man, listen, they be coming. They be like, nah,
well, they shut it down
too much.
They shut that shit down.
So what's gonna happen is basically, like, when you watch it again, you know, it might, well, this is on YouTube, you know, so like YouTube portion, they might, you know, take it out, but it is what it is. But in the NBA, man, what do you got going on? I mean, you know, it's pretty slow, but you know, playoff time coming up, man.
And they've been pretty slow. I thought, first of all, last week was phenomenal week. The Steph Curry week was phenomenal.
Okay. We know you love Steph, so you know
that was phenomenal. You know what? Yeah, you say whatever you want. It was phenomenal. You know it was phenomenal.
It was.
You know it was phenomenal. Okay.
I mean, but that's typical Steph. I mean, that's typical stuff, man.
Well, listen, you know, everybody swore. Let me not say everybody, but a lot of people swore, like, well, we're gonna see what Steph could do when he not playing with a bunch of all-stars and stuff. And it was like, well, be more Steph, because that's what we got.
But I don't see how people can deny that. You know what I mean? Like what he is doing without, Clay. Draymond still, Draymond, but I mean, I think Stacey.
No, Draymond isn't still Draymond. Draymond is good, but he's not the Draymond of the championship years.
But what I'm saying is that Draymond is still there. You know what I mean?
Draymond's
Like,
still there. Yeah.
so when people try to discredit Steph, I'm like, you gotta remember, Steph still puts on a show. You know what I mean? Steph is still the warrior, and no pun intended to the team he played for. But Steph is going to give you buckets. Steph is going to play until there's no more play. So I love what Steph is doing, and if they can get in, if they can
put on listen, I know they'll make it to the playing game. How far they'll get past that, who knows? Their team is so inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you could depend on like 15 from Wiggins, and then you could depend on Draymond getting you like 8 or 9 assists. Right. Outside of that, everybody else is a roller coaster. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're really bad. You just don't know. The only consistent you got is Steph.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
but let me just say this, right? When you're playing with, let's just say that Golden State they get into the playing game, and even if they just win a few games, right? Certain teams need that because that is fuel for next season. And I think Steph is okay with that. Like, okay, we're not going to win the championship. That's cool. But what I do know is next year, when we're healthy, if we can get some more pieces, now that's a little different because I'm sure Steph is like Bron in the sense that people don't mind playing with them. People don't mind playing with Steph.
I guess except KD.
Well, I mean, I swear, Chris, I was about to say that. But KD don't like playing with him, and Kyrie, they don't like playing with nobody. But Steph is the type of person that he can attract people to Golden State because what Steph is going to bring. Even if I'm having an off night, that's okay. I'm still going to get my dishes on assist. I'm still going to be able to rebound to make our team better. I don't got to do everything, but I got to do enough to support Steph, and that's fine. And Steph is a veteran at this point, and Steph knows how to win. Steph knows.
I agree with those points, but I think the Warriors organization got some big questions that they're going to need to answer in the offseason. Mm-hmm. Because if Steph is still playing at this higher level at 33,
right?
Maybe he got 2 years, maybe 3 years. I'm gonna get to KD.
Oh yeah,
he got maybe 2, maybe 3 years left like this. Are you 2-3 years away from being a contender?
Mm-hmm.
Steph might listen. I never thought I'd say it. Steph might need to think about making a move if they can't get because even when Clay come back, Clay is coming off of the 2 worst injuries you can have in basketball on the same leg.
Right. Yeah.
The ACL and an Achilles on the same leg. I'm hoping and praying that Clay returns to the Clay that we all know and love. Even if you do, it's not going to be immediate.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to think about what moves they need to make the Warriors competitive enough to make Steph want to stay. Now, I need to get right to KD. I am a KD fan.
Okay.
But, there ain't no way. Brooklyn got 2 years, and that team is going to explode. Because, what I'm seeing from KD and what I'm seeing from Kyrie, not from their basketball stuff, because obviously they know how to hoop. But there's no way this is gonna last you. There's no way. Like for Kevin Durant to even go on social media and take a jab at Steph is like, Steph was one of the only Warriors that never said nothing bad about you.
Right.
Who always came to your defense.
Always.
And you go on liking tweets. Maybe you thought you was on your burner, maybe you didn't. But you go and liking tweets, trying to shade Steph. Stop. KD, you got problems, yo. You got real problems.
Mm-hmm.
And it just shows me the kind of dude he is. And Steph is a good dude, so he's gonna take the high road. Kyrie will not take the high road. Whenever their come to Jesus moment happens, it's going to be the end of that team. It's going to be the end of the Brooklyn Nets. So the Brooklyn Nets better get it done as quick as possible. together because it's not gonna last.
No.
It ain't gonna last. And I mean, I always knew it wasn't gonna last, but yo, they give me KD and Kyrie give me affirmation every day that I know this ain't gonna last. I know it ain't. There's no way. It's no way.
So also, KD was on $1 million worth of game, and they asked him his top 5 teammates. He left out Russ. What do you think about that?
Listen, initially I wanted to say, yo, he probably just had a brain fart. But
and then they asked him again. They said, "Aren't you missing somebody?" He was like, "Who?"
Yeah, initially, that's why I said. Initially, I said, "Yo, maybe he had a brain fart."
Me too.
And then after the thing with Steph, I was like, "Nah, man, that dude got hate in his heart for other players, yo. He just got hate in his heart for other players. I don't think it was an accident. I just don't think it was."
Okay,
now, but listen, I won't. No, I think he's saying I'm tripping that this not gonna last. But the thing is, and Larry noticed, we've all talked about this. Like, it's just too much of a combustible situation with all of them.
And then he said, "Y'all are now the media."
Listen, ride for your team as you should.
Of course.
As you should ride for your team and deflect all of this stuff. Whether Kevin Durant meant to or didn't mean to leave Russell on, okay, that's debatable. What ain't debatable is him liking tweets going at Steph. That's not debatable. I honestly believe only weirdos don't like Steph. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Only weirdos don't like Steph.
How can you not root for Steph? How can you not root for Steph? Like, seriously. He said, "Wax on, wax off, block over here." Listen, defend your Brooklyn Nets. Please defend them. You know what I mean? Like, because playoff time, one thing about basketball now, and I think sports, right? So I'm just going to get on my soapbox for a second because I know I talk about it, but I'm tired of these older dudes always, like, they watch so much basketball, but they're still hating. Like, listen, if you don't want to watch the new school ball, then guess what? You watch all the highlights. Leave it to us to watch the new stuff. Because, it's everybody wants, not everybody, but a lot of them just want to hurry up to the playoffs. Let's enjoy the season. Let's enjoy the season. And I think that it's so many fans now, Chris. And, I don't know if you agree with me, but it's just like everybody just want to fast forward to the championship. Mm-hmm. Now, like, that's where it counts. It's like, I don't care what you're doing. Like, for what, with like Brooklyn and, and with the Lakers. Listen, we talk about the Brooklyn Nets, but we still got to give props. Like, when James Harden was in, he was hooked and he was on. Those are the little things that when old school haters talk about basketball, you're not talking about the championship. You're talking about the stuff that you've seen during the season that made Larry Bird so great. You're not talking about the 5 highlights that they show. You're talking about the essence of watching Sidney Moncrief lock down a defender. That's what you're talking about. These are the things that, regular people watching won't understand. But if you're an avid fan, those are the things that you're watching. And that comes during the regular season. Does it come during the playoffs? Of course. But these are the things that make it so special. And I'm tired of people rushing to just get to the end, and that's it. I'm tired of that. Like, let's enjoy the game. Like the Knicks 8-game win streak.
9 game.
9. I'm sorry. I don't want to get killed. 9. Like,
9
that's
game.
Something that we should be watching, that we should be like, yo, this is dope. Because we can talk about the Nets all we want, but I mean, New York is the Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. 100%.
You know what I mean? So this is something that we should be enjoying, but a lot of people, and it's just me, like, they don't enjoy it. They just want to, it don't matter. What did he do in the playoffs? What did he do in Come on. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just old school, Chris. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me shut the hell up if you have to.
Nah, man. Nah, listen, they do put a lot of emphasis on what you do. Not only what did you do in the playoffs, what did you do in the finals?
Right.
Right, you know what I mean? So it's like And it kind of harkens back to even Steph a little bit, because Steph has had great playoffs and he's had great moments in the finals. A couple bad moments, but you know what they talk about? I don't know if he clutched, man, because those games I remember in the finals. It's like that's the whole career come down to the couple bad games he had.
Right.
You know, so they move the goalposts regularly. With shout out to Anthony. Just one quick question. And I saw it on your page. Is the Belanga hype train over since he struggled last night? And you could just answer that in the comments. He knows what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But look, you got to give props to the Knicks. And you listen, don't nobody hate the Knicks as much as me. And I don't even hate the Knicks because of I hate the Knicks because of James Dolan.
Yes.
I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm not like a Knicks hater. But James Dolan just pisses me off. I just don't like him. As a person, I don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's ruined the Knicks. The NBA is better when the Knicks are good.
Yeah.
And I think he set the Knicks back 15 years with just the dumb shit that he does.
Mm. And for them to be playing at this competitive level right now, that's you got to
give him props. You got to give him props for that. Now, listen, I'll give him props, but I also want to be realistic, right? Tom Thibodeau is going to burn all your young players out because that's what he does. He's going to burn your young stars out. So you're trading long-term success for a short amount of time of being relevant, comparable, or good. Because I still don't think the Knicks are going to win a chip. You know, I think their best case scenario is a first round win.
Okay.
I don't see them getting past there. But he's playing Julius Randle and RJ Barrett like 38 minutes a night on back-to-backs. Slow it down, fam. So you know.
Tips. To your point, Chris, he said, "Hell yeah, it's a wrap for Balaga." So
yeah, you know what? I can see Jesse Hart beating Belanga. I know people don't know what the hell we talking about.
Is he related to Bret Hart by any chance? That's all I need to know.
No.
Owen
but
Hart.
Listen, I seen it, and when I saw that listen, I'm always skeptical of a boxer that comes on and is just knocking a bunch of journeymen or not so good people out, because you can't really gauge how good they are. You know, you can't see their skill. I mean, listen, you can have power, but you know, it's more than just power in the boxing game. You know what I mean? Like, good fighters can take power away. Right. You know, and they can be like, oh, only thing you can do is hit hard. I'll make sure you don't hit me hard. What else you got? You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, there's levels to it. So I was waiting to kind of see, all right, if somebody wasn't stopped by your power or took your power away, what else you got?
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't impressive last night. So, you know, and, you know, he calling out, you know, like top people in that division, like, you know, like the Canelos, like the Caleb Plants, like the David Benavidez. They got multiple tools in the tool shed. They could get a lot of different. I can't do this. I'll just take this. Just as effective. You know what I mean? So, but he's young. Let's see what happens. But it ain't looking great. It reminds me of he reminds me a little bit of, what's his name, Jamie Muguruza. It's like, you know, you come up, you knocking some people out. It's kind of exciting. But what else you got? When you're gonna fight somebody that's real, then I can really gauge what you got.
Okay. Right.
But anyway, that was just a quick thing. Back to the Knicks. They will get burnt out by Tibbs because that's what he does. He burns players out, and then they're no good. Luol Deng should have been playing in the league. I mean, he should have been out by this point. But yeah, he should have been good for longer. But he used to play him 42 minutes a night. I'm not gonna blame him for Derrick Rose getting hurt. But when Derrick Rose did get hurt, he certainly didn't have no governor on him to make sure like he stayed a little bit more healthier. Yes, I don't trust the long-term success of the Knicks. But I got to give it up, yo. Julius Randle has made a heavy campaign
Yes.
for a resurgence in his career.
I'm happy
to
for
be
him.
an elite player. I'm happy for him.
Happy for
And that's the problem, Larry, though, right? So, and multiple people have said this, so I ain't breaking no news. But nationally, it's about the Nets. But in New York,
It's about the Knicks.
it's about the Knicks.
That's it.
So, y'all better win the chip. And I'm more and more like, I know they for pound got all of the talent to beat everybody, right? Obviously, we know how special KD is. We know how special Kyrie is when he's paired up with other real special players.
Mm.
And that's somebody, that's a Duke guy saying that. Okay? So you take that.
A long tour of that.
We know how, and then we know how James Harden is. Collectively, though, I've just been seeing too many injuries from them. Too many. Enough, so many that I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I'm seriously concerned about the net. Like, listen, I know like the little thigh bruise can happen to anybody. Hammies come and go. I get all of that. But man, it just seems like, damn, I hate to bring it back to them. But you remember the Warriors their last year? It was just like, it was just injury. And it was like, at first it was like a little injury, little injury, little injury, mid-injury, mid-injury, big injury, big injury. You know what I mean? It's just like, I see it going down this line, man. I'm very concerned that they just won't be able to last. And it won't be no fault of their own. Listen, injuries happen. But I'm concerned about their health, basically going forward. Blake Griffin has always been a walking injury. I mean, especially in the playoffs. I mean, how many times were the Clippers right in the thick of it and then he get hurt in the playoffs? When did Kyrie start practicing Ramadan? Is he Muslim now?
I believe so. Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Because remember that personal reason. I don't know how. I don't know when it was announced, but I mean,
I don't have a problem with that, right?
Right.
I don't have a problem with that. The issue I'm having is that's cool, and that's all good. But normally the players that are Muslim in the league that practice Ramadan, they've done it for a while. So the fasting that most of the time is coming right when you're playing, they know how to, they know how to navigate it. And now you're doing it. This is probably, I'm going to assume, I don't know what you did last year, but you wasn't playing last year. So this is the first time you've been playing and you're going to go through Ramadan. That's going to be new experience for your body. You know what I'm saying? So I think about that. I think about the injuries, all of these little things, man. It's just, you know what I mean? I don't know if they're going to fit right. Now, practice Ramadan. There's no problem. There's a ton of players who do it. The player I think about most recently is Enes Kanter. Enes Kanter practiced it, but he's been doing it his whole career. You know what I mean? So he they asked him about it, and this was when Enes Kanter and the Portland Trailblazers got to the Western Conference Finals. But he was like, I know how to navigate it. Are we sure that Kyrie know how to navigate it? I don't know. And any little thing with Kyrie could, throw him off. Let's just say that. Could throw him off.
We know.
So that combined, Hakeem Olajuwon. Yeah, him too. But again, you're talking about players who did it for a while. This is his first time. So that's why I'm concerned of how it's the effect that it's gonna have on the team. Not concerned with him, either being a Muslim now. That's his prerogative. But now that you're practicing Ramadan, how's your body gonna adjust to the fasting now that you're playing? You know what I mean? Enes Kanter, Hakeem, those are big men. You know what I mean? They could take some plays off if need be. Amir Khan.
That's my dude. Yeah, man.
It's funny just because, I know he got knocked out a few times during Ramadan.
You know what? You got to.
But anyway, but that's all I'm saying. I'm saying, how is his body going to be able to handle it?
Mhm.
On top of all of the injuries that they keep, getting. I don't know, man. The Nets, they worry me. They worry me a lot.
I want to see how Handbone is going to deflect this one here. But I do have to go in a bit, Chris. I have to go to see my little godson do his thing. He played flag football, so shout out to Dom. This is
You
first
playing
game.
flag football today?
Yeah,
Good football weather.
yeah.
Good football weather.
Yeah. It don't stop. I mean, as long as they ain't lightning, you straight.
Yeah. Yo, man, I be seeing some cleats, man. And I be like, damn, I want to lace something up. And then I get up and I feel my knees. And I'm like, damn, I'm good. Them days is over.
Listen, Ant can tell you, I'm just out there just to dress up. That's it. I have fun.
Them days is over. I'll be like,
No, you can do it though, man. It's fun, man. It's fun. But
yeah,
yeah,
I probably could. And I'm telling you, them days is over. I don't want my knees.
Handbone wanted everybody to know before we go. He said, Nets play today at 3:30. Make sure y'all tune in.
Listen, I'm tuning in. That's a big game. Kevin coming back. The Phoenix is, highly formidable. So I definitely want to see that game.
Me too.
I hope that everybody stays healthy.
Me too.
I really do. Because it's going to be a shame if the Nets are not at full strength and we don't get to see the potential of what they could be. Because, they could break up by next year, knowing them.
They could break up by the playoffs with Kyrie.
If I'm not mistaken, Hambone, you correct me if I'm wrong. Next year is Kevin Durant's player option, is it not?
Year 2, right? Yeah.
No, next year will be year 3. Remember, he was here last year. He just sat out.
Yeah, right.
Playing this year, next year will be year 3. Is that his player option?
Let me see.
Let me tell you something. I would be concerned.
He said,
Chris, correct. I would be concerned.
Okay.
I'd be concerned. He just changes so much.
Shouts out to Chris Brown, the real Chris Breezy. He said Dak the playoffs. And then he said him and Kyrie.
Well, Kyrie, I'm not too concerned. I think he wants to play in New York. Kevin, though, he's so fickle. I don't know.
And don't you put this sorcery on us.
KD to the Lakers?
No.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Hell no. KD pride is too much. Now he'll go to the Clippers before he goes.
Hold on. To the Knicks? There have been reports. There's been reports that a major star is gonna go to the Knicks. Could it be KD?
If it is Chris, I'm done. Just get Vince McMahon on the phone if that happens. Just come on, man. He's going back home. Oh my gosh, yeah, he's going home and not playing again. To
DC?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, no, he ain't playing with Russ.
Obviously,
he don't like Russ.
You don't like Russ. He
obviously.
Why would he want to play with a teammate that he don't like? So
listen, and I understand why he wouldn't want to play with Russ.
Yeah,
I heard Bradley Bills to the Knicks. I heard Bradley Bills to the Knicks too. I did hear that. That he was one of the players. A big time player wants to go to the Knicks.
But can they keep
Bradley
him?
Bills.
But because Randall gonna want to get paid. What's that gonna look like? That's the only down thing about when you have teams that get really well, that get good really fast, and players are like under the salary and everything is good. Then that's when people start wanting to get paid. It's like, hey, listen, I've been doing this. So like,
Julius Randle deserves his money. My advice to Julius Randle is don't let them Isaiah Thomas you. Okay? Because Isaiah Thomas was due some big money with Boston. Got hurt. Then all of a sudden they want to get him out of there. He's just trying to find his way in the league. I think Julius Randle, protect yourself. If you get injured or something, don't kill yourself to get back there. And, put it on the table. Say, I'm going to who paying. I'm getting this big money. I'm going to who paying, period. If it's the Knicks, then I'll stay at the Knicks. If y'all think y'all going to get, Bradley Beal or Kevin Durant and y'all think it suits y'all better, cool. I'll go get the bag somewhere else. Go get that bag. Go get that bag.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
But, Knicks still got money, so,
they're fine.
We will see. But, I can't put no faith in Kevin. He might stay. He might. He might not go to the Knicks. He might go somewhere. I don't know, but I'm just saying that option gonna be open next year. Don't let it be a collapse either. You know he don't like collapses. Don't let it be a collapse in the playoff.
Oh, Chris gonna be on him. Chris gonna, because he was able to redeem himself sort of kind of in Golden State, but you know how that go. It's easy to play with Steph. Not saying that KD didn't put his work in, but it's really easy to play with Steph.
And Clay.
Yeah. And Draymond too.
He got what he wanted. And then, you know, he want to do his own thing, and that's cool. But you're not really doing your own thing on a team with James Harden and Kyrie. But you know, whatever.
I'm just gonna ask this, and then I'm gonna ride the show out. When has KD not played with some superstars? That's all I'm gonna say. On that note, thanks again for tuning in to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I want to thank our sponsors again. You know, Positive Peace. Chris, show that shirt, please, sir. There you go. Positive
Let me
Peace.
tell you something. See this merch right here? Let me tell you something. Y'all don't know if you can see it. Even got like designs at the bottom.
Also on the neck too.
In the back too. Like it's a nice cotton blend. Like, you know what I mean? It feels like a nice shirt when you put it on. Not just the undershirt. It feel like a nice, silky smooth shirt when you put it on. It come in multiple colors, but you know I'm a white and black dude. But you know what I mean? They got the long sleeve joints. They got the sweaters. The hoodies is on the way.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I gotta say, man, the people that do it up like this, that Positive Peace, yo, they authentic, man. I fucks with them. Heavy.
There we go. Also, we also want to thank
Cotton blend. Yeah, there you go.
our
Cotton
other
blend.
sponsor, you know, Inspire Rentals. Yes, let me put that up on the screen here. Oh, you know, I gotta get all this stuff off first. Let me see here. Boom. Boom.
Yo, you know what? Inspire Rentals is gonna come through in the cusp, because let me tell you something. Now that, you know, the pandemic is starting to wind down a little bit, you know, there's gonna be barbecues at people's houses. And do you really want everybody just running in and out your house? I mean, listen, they family, they friends, they close.
Get it,
but you really gonna want all these people running in and out your house? You know, listen, I know we coming off of it, but you know,
I got you, man. I got you.
Still in it. I don't know who Chris Gay is, because that ain't me. I ain't like that.
That's my nephew, Chris Gay, man. That's Chris Gay Jr.
Slide the hoodie. Yeah, slide the hoodie. Yo, let me tell you something. You better put your real name up there. Put that JR.
Messing up your name. Ant said last time KD didn't play with stars, Texas Longhorn days. You know what? I gotta go. I really
need it. Listen, hold on. Let me get back to my point.
Go
ahead. Rentals, okay? You ain't gonna want everybody just coming in using your bathroom. Okay? So what you do? Oh, he watching on YouTube. That's why. Cause I'm like, yo, I know this nigga don't got no Facebook. You know what? I'm gonna keep my family business. But yo, you ain't gonna want everybody running in and out your house. You know what I'm saying? You know, you love them and all, but you know, you still gotta keep some distance with this COVID stuff. You got the porta potty outside, nice one, smells fresh.
Yes.
Got all your sanitary needs in there. It's like, oh, yo, cuz, can I use the whoa. You use the Inspire rental right there.
There we go.
Oh no, I can't use everything you need is right in there. You good?
Everything.
Slide them all. Just like that. It's like that, cuz. What you talking about? This is high quality stuff. Inspire rental, porta potties, and services.
And you won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed. And of course, we gotta thank, you know, Uncle Juan OG over there, you know, at 94.3 WYBC.
The rhythm of the city.
Yes. On that note, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. You know, my baby, she just jumped on real quick. I gotta go, because if I don't go, I will be, you know, killed by everybody in the fam. I gotta go see my godson. You know, and you know, I gotta talk to the coach, because his flag football team is the Dallas Cowboys. I gotta fix that. But you know,
hey,
as long as you're doing something positive.
Let's get up out of here, and man, Let's go, Mac Jones, number 3, 49ers.
You
Let's
know
go.
the Messenger Podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy, Chris G.
And it's your boy, the Rucker Report, a.k.a. Jerry.
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished.
This is Don't Shoot the Messenger Podcast.
X about me.
With Professional Sutton.
You already know.
Chris G.
My homie.
And the Rucker Report.
My family, what up? They for real. All straight with no chaser.
Let the games begin.
Let's go. Don't Shoot the Messenger Podcast.